You're watching the official Bad Boys Texas after show only on Damien After Dark. Look, I'm so excited to have you here. It's going to be a great Sunday night. Go ahead and grab you a drink, roll you a blunt, whatever you like to indulge in, because we're going to get into this episode and you better believe we're going to talk about it all, okay? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button so you can get locked in to when I post new content. Hit that post notification button so you're never behind and YouTube will notify you when I post or go live. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do so without spending money, okay? All support ain't gotta be money, all right? You can support the channel for free by clicking the thumbs up button. When you like that video, it helps me out so much and I will love you forever. Last but not least, join the conversation. I want to hear from you what you got to say. Your opinion is important. So, as we go through the after show, I'm going to ask you some questions. How you feel about this person? How you feel about that fight? So you want to join the conversation and chime in below, and I will try my best to respond back to you. Also, if you have not already, Zeus Network has released their summer and spring lineup. I did a video on that, talking about the new seasons of Jocelyn's Cabaret, Baddies East, Krishan and Blueface Crazy in Love Season 2, and all that good stuff. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out now. What are you waiting for, okay? Oh, now, so where do we begin? Let me start with this. I broke my ring light, the little thing that holds your phone in the ring light or your camera in the ring light. I broke that. So I've got my camera situation rigged right now. So I have to be very careful. Like if I touch my desk, let me show y'all. You see how we're shaking over here? I got to be very careful. So if y'all see some shaking going on, that's what it is. I'm just going to try not to really touch my desk. Strictly the mouse here. But let's get into it. Bad Boys Texas Season 2, Episode 2. Look, I mean, so far the season's okay. It's not like show-stopping. It's not like wow. But it's not, so far, let me say this. I like the cast this season better than I did the cast last season. So we're getting somewhere, right? We're getting somewhere. There is no new episode of Baddies West, by the way. I'm sure some of y'all know that. The reunion will be airing in May in just a few weeks. So we will circle back and do an after show for the Baddies West reunion. Don't want to miss that. Now let's jump right into the episode. Last week we saw the house starting to divide a little bit over the fact that Chef Dee had jumped in that fight between Jonathan and Anthony. I wouldn't even call it a fight between Jonathan and Anthony because I don't think when it comes to a fight between two people, usually there's consent between two people to fight. But Anthony didn't know what was coming, okay? Anthony's head just went boom against that bus or that truck or whatever. So would we even consider it a fight between two people? I don't know. Now listen, I was excited about Jonathan being a part of the cast and still am. I really am. But Jonathan, I'm watching you. We don't do bullies over here. We don't like bullies over here. And I'm excited for you, Jonathan. I really am. I like how you hold your own. I like how you show these motherfuckers that we are not to be played with. However, I don't like when someone comes up and just starts shit out of nowhere. If you got a problem with Anthony, talk to him. Then if you want to fight him, but don't run up on him. Don't come out of nowhere when he's not paying attention, catch him off guard, and just sock him in his head as hard as you can. You're a big dude, Jonathan. You're a big-ass dude. So anybody you hit, you could have... I'm surprised he did not break Anthony's jaw. Can we be honest for a minute? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I'm surprised Jonathan did not break Anthony's jaw. And here's another thing. Zeus has got to be paying real fucking well because there's no way I would be putting up with this shit. Like, you literally have to fear for your life every day. You've got to watch your back. Like, is somebody going to jump on me? Is somebody going to hit me? Am I going to wake up being choked out in bed? And I ain't talking about the good way, not the good choked out in bed. We talking about somebody trying to fuck you up. Like, they got to be paying good for these boys to be putting up with this shit. Now, look, Big Lou and Relly, they're out and fighting in the middle of the street. Because if you remember last week, Lou pushed Rel and wanted to go after him because Rel kind of stood up for Anthony in a way and said, you know, why are we doing all this jumping when Chef D jumped in? And Big Lou, I guess, wanted everybody to know that, hey, look at me, pick me. So Big Lou decided to be like, what, you know, what the fuck you mean jumping? What the fuck you mean he's jumping him? Blah, 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 blah. You know. Anyway, when Big Lou decided to push Rel, he pushed the wrong motherfucking one because Relly gave him that, he gave him that uppercut twice. And I saw it. Did y'all see it? Go back and rewind. Relly was not playing with him. He said, you want to put your hands on me? Let me show you who the season 1 OG really is. Okay? Good for you, Relly. Good for you. Big Lou is just trying to make his mark. Big Lou wants everyone to know, I have arrived. I think, look, it's his first time on TV. I think the adrenaline was pumping. I think he's a little too excited to be there. And he didn't want to fade in the back. He didn't want to be one of the boys fading in the background. He didn't want to be the quiet one. Maybe this is just who Big Lou is. Look, listen, I try not to, in the very first beginning of the season, judge everyone too quickly, because usually they come around and we end up loving these people as the season progresses. So I'm trying to give you a chance, Big Lou. I'm even trying to give Chef D a chance, and we'll get into that. Now, I say I'm trying to give Chef D a chance, but I'm visiting to get in his ass for a minute, and not the way he would like. Here go Chef D, walking around, cheesing, smiling, hands on his hips. Walking around, happy as can be, loving this camera time, loving every bit of it. He's loving the drama. D is the type of gay guy that gives the rest of us gays a bad name because, listen, y'all know how the straight folks think. Y'all know how the heterosapiens think. The heterosexuals, I'm sorry. Y'all know how they think about us queers. Come on now. They messy. They punks. They love to start shit. They love the drama. And that's what Chef D was giving. He was out there just, the drama of it all was, it was feeding him. It was feeding him, okay? And Chef D, he's like, at this point, he's like, you mean I don't have to do the cooking? You mean I don't have to be you mean I'm the star? I'm the star of the show for once? I don't have to be the help? What? That's the way Chef D is acting right now. Okay? I'm going to apply pressure on you, D, anytime you fuck up. I'm going to give you the Sydney Star treatment. I'm going to give you the motherfucking Biggie treatment. Anytime we see your mouth drooling, anytime we see you thirsting for that motherfucking camera, I'm going to call your ass out every time, D. Because we know, that, like, I don't think you being your authentic self. Maybe he is just a big stunt queen. I don't know. But I don't like what I'm seeing out of Chef D. I really don't. I know I just told y'all I'm going to try to give him a chance, and we are. But so far, episode 1 and 2, you can go, D. You can go. Just like walking around looking like what Jonathan called you, Medea. Walking around straight up looking like Medea. Put you on a gray wig and say, how you doing? And you would look just like Medea. Now, on another note, I am thoroughly enjoying Orlando Brown. How about you? Y'all know coming into this, I was worried for Orlando Brown. Is he mentally there? Is he sane enough to do this show? Y'all know I talked about having a brother. Maybe I did. I don't know. I have a brother who passed away years ago who was bipolar, schizophrenic. And I dealt with, you know, his mental illness. My family and I dealt with it. It was difficult. So I didn't want to see Orlando Brown being exploited for the sake of this show. But it looks like what we've seen on the internet from Orlando Brown is completely opposite of what we're seeing on Bad Boys Texas. He seems sane. He seems clear. He seems cool. To be honest with you, it's sad that Orlando Brown seems like the one with some sense compared to Chef D, compared to Jonathan, compared to Big Lou. Orlando Brown is making y'all look stupid as fuck right now. So I'm here for it. I'm enjoying his confessionals. He's got this little funny banter about himself. He's interesting. I like it. And I see, Zeus, I see why y'all paid that big money to get him out of jail. And I'm looking forward to see what else Orlando has up his sleeve. All right. Now, Relly tells Chef D, didn't I tell y'all before all of this, just don't jump him. Now, if I heard that wrong, check me in the comments. But if you want to go back and rewatch, look at that scene in the bedroom with Relly and Chef D, and I think Ara was in there as well. And Relly tells D, I'll tell y'all again, he says, didn't I tell y'all before all of this, just don't jump him? Referring to Anthony. So my thing is, have y'all been plotting and planning this the whole time? Like, because, you know, I told y'all, that photo shoot that they had on episode 1, that wasn't the first time all the boys met and saw each other. When you go on to a Zeus show, you meet your fellow cast members before filming even starts. You meet your fellow cast members before you even start filming. So was there some plotation going on? Was there, some planning and plotting before we even started filming? That's what it sounds like to me. Unless I heard wrong, and unless Rel said, didn't I tell y'all before all this, no jumping in general. But it sounded like he said, didn't I tell y'all before all this, just don't jump him. So it sounds like Chef D and Jonathan maybe have already talked about this a little bit. If producers didn't plant that bug into Jonathan's ear to hit him, then that means that Jonathan and D have kind of maybe already talked about their issues with Anthony a little bit. You know, when camera's rolling, I'm going to jump his ass. That kind of thing. I'm disappointed in Big Lou, though. Because Big Lou, as I said last week, you are way too sexy. You way too fine to be doing the stunt queenery of it all. I don't like the stunt queen. And if you're not a part of the gay community, let me educate you very quickly on what a stunt queen is, okay? A stunt queen is typically a gay male who puts on stunts, usually lies a lot. This is an example. You could be around a gay guy who says, I did hair for Beyonce. I did Rihanna's makeup. I was the backup dancer for Sierra. All the while, they ain't backed up dance. They ain't done makeup for no damn body. They ain't even done their own mama's hair. They just lying to look good. That is what a stunt queen is. Or another example is doing the most, doing all these stunts. Look at me, because you need attention. And in this moment, it feels like Big Lou is giving me stunt queen energy. I could tell you got stunt queen energy. What Big Lotto say? What Mulatto say? It ain't too many of them that can handle me, but I can tell you got stunt queen energy. Okay, Big Lou? Because you're doing too much out here in the streets. Just doing the most because you want us to know that you're here. We see you, baby. You're fine. You are sexy as fuck, Big Lou. You ain't got to do all that for us to notice you because I saw you straight off the bat. Now, Lou and Rel end up talking it out and squashing their beef. After their little fight, they end up squashing their beef. They talk about it. And my thing is, it didn't even involve these two, so it never had to go that far. It never had to go that far. Now, they're getting ready. The photo shoot's over. They're getting, next day, they go to their hotel. They're leaving the hotel, and everybody's going to get in the Sprinter vans to head to the first house, which is the Houston house they're going to be staying in. Now, strategically, I told y'all last week that the house is already on day one kind of starting to divide in two groups. And we see on the bus how the producers have put them on two different Sprinter vans strategically because the producers know too, hey, we got two groups over here that are starting to form. The boys are starting to build these alliances. So we got Big Lou, Chef D, Jonathan, Razby, and the other dude in one car. And then we have Relly, Prince, Ara, Orlando, and Carry On in another vehicle. I'd rather have been on the, if I was there, I'd probably been on the bus with Prince, Relly, Orlando, Carry On, They seem like my kind of dudes. More chill, not as rah-rah, smoke a blunt, look good, have a good time. That's my kind of dudes. So I would have been in the car with them. Now, they talk about the fight the night before while they're on the bus headed to the Houston house. Now, Ara lets everyone know that he lets everyone know that he's not really feeling Chef Dee either. Okay? Ara already peeps the stunt queen shit. And he says, I don't like that Chef Dee bitch. Now, they get ready. They're moving into the Houston house. And when they pull up to the Houston house was probably the nicest house I've ever seen Zeus put cast members in. You can tell the budget is up here now, okay? This Houston house was huge. It was modern. It was luxe. It was up to date. There was plenty of room for everybody to have a bedroom. Productions even got their own bedrooms in this house, okay? Like, it was huge, gorgeous. They should have just stayed in that house the whole show. I mean, even though we know that they're going to be in Houston for a week. I think they're going to go to Austin for a week. Then they're going to go to Dallas for a week. And they're going to have 3 different homes. We know that, right? So every guy, I want to first of all say, good job, Zeus. Because every guy on the cast has their own room. And I said, Self, I said, Self, they've been watching your after shows, haven't they? Myself said they have. Zeus has been watching our after shows. Because y'all know, on Baddies South, on Baddies West, we gave them hell when it came to the bedrooms. Because they had them girls sharing rooms, sharing closets. I mean, they were cramped up in these little bunk bed type shit. And I'm like, with the money that Zeus got, the money they be spending, they can afford to put these girls up in something else. And it looks like they did. So everybody got a really nice room except Carry On, who was kind of in a room with bunk beds. But look, Carry On was cool about it. He didn't go act crazy. He didn't get buck. He didn't try to fight anybody over another bedroom. He was like, you know what? It's cool. I got a bed. I'll sleep here. When we go to the next house, then I'll get a bigger and better room. But I agree with him on that. But my thing is, I feel like the OGs should have gotten their own rooms. They should have gotten first dibs on the room. Had I been an OG, had I been Carry On or Anthony or Relly, when we went into the house, I would have been like, I feel like it's only fair, y'all, if us OGs from season 1 get to choose our rooms first. I mean, do y'all agree with me? Do y'all feel like they should have gotten it? Like, there is no reason that my husband Carry On should be sleeping in the room with bunk beds when he done been there, done this shit before. There ain't no reason for it. But that's okay. Now, Ara, Chef Dee, and Rel are talking inside of Relly's room. And Ara pretty much lets Chef Dee know that he didn't like how Dee handled things at the photo shoot. He didn't like how he jumped Anthony when Jonathan had already was pounding on him. Now, Chef Dee tries to say, I didn't know Jonathan hit him, though. I didn't know Jonathan hit him. Really, girl? Really? Tell somebody that lie that's going to believe you, because we don't believe it. What do you mean you didn't see Jonathan hit Anthony? Then why did coincidentally you just decide to run up and start hitting Anthony? If you didn't see Jonathan do it, what made you do it? It was just a coincidence? I don't think so. You saw Jonathan run up on Anthony. You took your big ass and ran up there on him too because you knew that your bodyguard was there. You knew that if something happened, Jonathan was there. You wanted to look cute. We ain't got to go over this again. We talked about it last week. Shut the fuck up lying, Chef Dee. You're lying. You're lying, okay? Like I told y'all, I want to give Dee a chance. I want to try to get to know him and not be so biased based off of his actions that I've seen online. But every time I give these hoes a chance, Every time I give these hoes a chance, they fuck it up. I gave Sydney Star a chance. She fucked it up. We gave Scotty 2 or 3 chances. She fucked it up. Tried to give Biggie a little bit of a chance. She fucked it up. Don't fuck it up, D. Don't fuck it up. Now, when it comes to D talking about his reasoning behind what he did, he says that, oh, Anthony's bullied me online for a year. And Ara, I like Ara already. Ara said, how he bully your big ass? Clock. I said, clocked his ass. Ara got him with 1 sentence. Oh, I ran up on him because Anthony's been talking about me and bullying me online for the last year. How he bully your big ass? Please tell me. Like, come on, Chef D. And before anybody talk about, oh, you body shaming, calling him big, calling Chef D big ass, listen, I'm 6'2", baby. I'm big too. All right? So it ain't no, we ain't shaming over here. I'm not shaming D's body. You just too big and overgrown to be talking about, oh, he bullied me online for a year. What did Anthony say? Did Anthony bully Chef D? Do y'all know what Chef D is talking about? Please comment below and let us know what is going on, okay? Chef D claims Anthony has told people not to fuck with D. He claims that Anthony has told people not to work with D, and that Anthony's pretty much fucked with D's bag. He's fucked with his work. And I'm like, is it that deep? Like, I'm trying to figure out what animosity does Anthony have towards you to where he's bullied you online for a year. He's told people not to fuck with you. He's took money from you in these ways that you're claiming. Like, what happening? Are we getting the full story here? Are you telling the full truth, Chef D? What's going on between you and Anthony? I just don't see Anthony being that worried about you. I don't see him checking for you like that. I'm not the biggest Anthony fan, but don't this man own his own business? He owns a nightclub. I'm sure he's too busy to be worried about who you cooking shrimp and lobster for. Like, goddamn, I wonder if Chef D cooks good. You know, shut the fuck up, D. Just make a surf and turf and shut the fuck up. All right? Now, D can't seem to find a room anywhere. Oh, my camera's shaking and shit again. D can't seem to find a room. Every room is taken. He tries to take Ara's room, and Ara ain't having it. He feels some type of way about D already, and now D coming in here trying to take his room, and Ara checks him. He's like, you're not getting this room. He stood up to him. He said, you're not getting this room, and, you know, don't come at me like that. And D ultimately ends up leaving the room and goes and finds another room that's got 2 little twin beds in it, and he pushes the twin beds together to make one big bed. So good for you, Ara, for standing ground and not letting Miss Thang try to run over you. If it were me, though, I would say, Carry On, can I come bunk with you? Carry On's got bunk beds, so I go in that room with Carry On. I'd sleep on the top bunk or the bottom bunk, whichever, you know, I'll be the top, I'll be the bottom, whatever Carry On wanted me to be in that moment, I would be it, baby. All right. Now, hey, Carry On. Prince, in my opinion, had the best room out of all the boys. His room looked like a studio apartment. He had the little couch over here, and then Jonathan, too. Maybe it's a tie between Jonathan and Carry On who had the best room, because Jonathan had that big-ass, nice walk-in closet with all that shoe space. I'd have plenty of room to put all my little shit, my little hat, my jewelry. Like, I like Jonathan's room, too. So it's a toss-up. Who do y'all think had the best room? Now, in Prince's room, a few of the boys are chilling, they're hanging, they're talking in there. We see Orlando's in there as well. And Prince pretty much tells Orlando what you and I have been talking about here. Prince says, you know, the media portrays you to be kind of out there, a little bit crazy. But from what we've seen, and we've only been here a day or two, you seem pretty sane. You seem pretty clear. And I agree with Prince. I mean, Orlando has been portrayed a certain way on social media and in the media. I don't know if Orlando likes to say shit for shock value. I don't know if Orlando just, you know, has these moments where he gets super high and binges on drugs and he says crazy shit. I don't know what's going on with Orlando, but so far, so good. I like him, and I agree with everything Prince said. And did Orlando say in that confessional that he had a baby on the way? Did y'all peep that? He said something about a baby being on the way. I don't know. Now, Anthony has been missing ever since the fight that happened the night before. He's been missing. He didn't go back to the hotel room after the promo shoot. He didn't ride with the boys to the Texas or to the Houston house the next day. It's getting dark outside. He's still not anywhere to be found. And I think honestly Anthony was probably a little bit embarrassed as to what happened. Look, he came on last season. He didn't have to fight anybody. Anthony sort of skated by last season and let everybody else do the fighting. Now he's come back on this show on season 2 as an OG, and on episode 1, he's getting his face busted the fuck in. So I'd be a little bit embarrassed too. I'd be pissed. They're in his hometown of Houston. I probably would have went home. I probably would have went and talked to some friends, vented to some friends. I probably would have said fuck the show too, and just got my mind together. So I wasn't expecting him to come back to the house anyway the first night. But after all the boys get settled, they're all mingling with one another. They're all talking, getting to know each other a little bit better. Anthony finally shows up to the house. And when he gets there, Relly and Carry-On kind of talk to him about what happened the night before. They kind of get the tea. They get his side of the story about where he thinks this whole jumpation come from. And he tells them that, Rio came into town and Rio hit Anthony up and was like, yo, I'm in town. I want you to show me a good time for my birthday. I'm coming by your club. Can I buy a table? Anthony says he had no problem with Rio. And I just don't see Anthony and Jonathan being besties. I never saw them hanging out every night. I never saw them doing these club appearances together and being best friends to where Anthony has to have this undenying loyalty for Jonathan. We never saw that. So it's coming off, Jonathan, like you were just trying to pick a fight and bully for no reason. Did you really care that Anthony allowed Rio to come to his club? Were you that pressed about it, or were you just trying to have a moment and find a reason to put your hands on this boy? Because look, last season we loved seeing Jonathan dog walk Rio the way we did. And I'm like, is this going to his head a little bit to where he thinks we want to see this again? Because if that's how you're thinking, Jonathan, it's coming off as straight up bullying. And, it's business. It's business. Jonathan, you're a businessman, right? You're a businessman. Don't you own a salon? So you should understand. You should completely understand. If, let's just say, one of Anthony's enemies came to you, wanted to get their hair done, are you going to turn them down because you were on a show with Anthony last season? Or because y'all are friends? No, you're going to accept the money, do the person's head, and be a good businessman. Like, leave your feelings out of of it. Now, Anthony says, he tells the boys that, Chef Dee is supposed to be Natalie's friend, yet he talks about her every day. And I believe that shit. D is going to do what's best for D and D only. And if it's backstabbing, talking shit, whatever, he's going to do it to elevate himself and get himself higher up. I 1000% believe Chef D talks shit about Natalie. 1000%. By the way, I noticed Anthony's booty was bootying. Anthony's booty was bootying, okay? Yeah, so I just wanted to go like this to Anthony's booty, but do he got a BBL? Did y'all notice that? Like, Anthony, no shade if you got a BBL, but is that butt natural? Do y'all think he has a natural booty? It looked like it was BBLing to me. Now, I'm here for Ara standing up for Anthony. I get that he's upset that what happened to Anthony, but it's like every moment that he gets, Ara is sticking up for Anthony. When Anthony came back to the house, he was over there standing beside him, and in his confessional, he was like, I'm going to look after him. I'm going to stand by him. And my thing is, okay, Ara, that's fine, but when it's your turn and you're in the hot seat and you're swinging and fighting in the house, is Anthony going to have that same loyalty to you? Just curious. I mean, it's great that you're standing up for him. I love that about you. I just really hope that it doesn't come back to bite you in the ass and Anthony throws you, I don't know. We'll see. You trying to clap that BBL, ain't you, Ara? You trying to clap that BBL. Okay? Now, I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with Dee a little bit on this situation when it comes to Anthony and Jonathan in the kitchen. When Anthony and Jonathan start talking in the kitchen, it almost seemed like a battered ex-girlfriend talking to her boyfriend who just hit her the night before. That's what it seemed like, because Anthony was very passive. He was very like, you hurt my feelings. I just didn't understand why you did that. But when it came to Dee, he was really buck. Fuck you, Dee, da 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 da. Now, I get it. He said that he thought him and Jonathan were more so friends than him and Dee was. I just did not like how Jonathan was talking to you, Anthony. You shouldn't have let him speak to you that way. Because what it feels like now is that a lot of these boys are scared of Jonathan and they're going to walk on eggshells around him because they know what he's capable of. Jonathan was sitting there talking to him like, bitch, you knew better than that, bitch. You knew better than to let my ops come up in your club. Like, he was talking to Anthony like he was his hoe. And Jonathan was the pimp. So, I just wish that Anthony would have, been a little bit more with him. Like, I don't like what your ass did. Next time you want to hit me, don't sneak me. Hit me when I, when I can be there right in front of you and hit your ass back. Granted, Jonathan would dog walk Anthony. However, you can dog walk me, you can beat my ass, but you gonna know you was in a fight, ho. Okay? You might be able to whoop my ass, but you gonna know you was in a fight because I'm not gonna back the fuck down. But hats off to you, Anthony, for trying to be calm, trying to have a conversation. However, this man just hit you the night before. But we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that. I just wish he would have called out Jonathan the same way he called out Dee. That's all. Anthony also says that Chef Dee isn't his friend and he doesn't give a fuck about him. But in the same sentence, did y'all notice how he said Chef Dee lived with him at one point? Now, Chef Dee denied it. He said, I never lived with you. I never lived with you. Even if he did live with Anthony, he's not going to want to admit it because that's not going to fit his persona of being this celebrity chef reality star now who has money. He's not going to want to admit that he lived with Anthony. Did he live with Anthony? I don't know. It's very conflicting though. Maybe he did, and maybe something more happened. Maybe there was something sexual that went down with these two. And this is where all this animosity and stuff is stemming from. Is this why Dee jumped on you, Anthony? Does it have more to do than what y'all are saying? I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think there's more going on between Anthony and Dee as to why they had this whole situation going on? Because we didn't understand why Chef Dee jumped in on that situation. But now Anthony is saying that Chef Dee used to live with him. I don't know. Things end up getting heated between Dee and Anthony. Dee ends up swinging on Anthony. And they start going at it. Okay? Now, the episode ends. Y'all know it wouldn't be a Zeus episode if there was not a cliffhanger. They got to reel us in for next week. Next week, we see that Anthony's lip is bleeding. And I'm just like, Lord have mercy, child. They throwing Anthony around like a rag doll. They throwing Anthony around like he getting a train ran on him. Just back to back. But also, we see Ara and Big Lou go at it next week. And Big Lou smacks, or I don't know about smacks, he knocks the fuck out of Ara. So that's going to be interesting to see next week. We also see Anthony's friend show up at the door looking for Jonathan next week as well. Upset over the whole fact that Anthony was jumped. So we're going to see that happen. We also see Anthony questioning whether or not he wants to be a part of the show anymore and whether or not he wants to stay in a house to where he feels like his life is in danger every single day. I don't blame you, Anthony. However, don't let these bitches punk you, okay? This is a show that you started. You're an OG. You were on season 1. Don't let these bitches punk you. Come back to that house. If you got to fight every goddamn day, you gonna do it. But you're not going to leave the house, okay? Listen, I'm so glad you all joined me tonight for the Bad Boys Texas after show. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you get up-to-date content when I post or when I go live. Also, please support the channel. It's free by clicking the thumbs up button. When you support the channel by clicking the thumbs up button, the channel grows here. I could not do without you, and I love each and every one of you. Last but not least, join the conversation. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. What did you think about it all? Do you feel like there's more going on between Chef Dee and Anthony that we're not really getting the whole explanation about? What did you think about the Houston house that they're staying in? Whose room did you like the most? How do you feel so far about this season, episodes 1 and 2? Give me your rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How good is the show? Are you liking it better than you did last week? Let me know. Also, I know I probably seem wired the fuck up in this video. I've had a little bit of coffee, but hey, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for the support, and we will see you next time on Damien After Dark. Mwah. See ya.